this is kind of a logic loop thing. It's about the alignment being more joyful than the actual results, in
Okay.
the sense of if I want something and I have to have the joy of it first, when it comes is all that's left the satisfaction of having it. And in that case, that means I feel better without having it. So do I need it?
So the question is, do I need it? So I don't know. That's an interesting question because it depends, I think, on how you define need or what does need mean, right?
Mhm,
So I think that anything that we truly need, our
mhm,
inner being co-creationally delivers it to us,
mhm,
right? So that's an interesting question. So when you're happy, when you're satisfied without the desire, that's
mhm.
when the desire shows up because you're no longer dependent on the desire to feel good, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's the zone you want to aim for. That's where you want to be.
Mhm,
And then when that desire shows up, still milk the desire, still be excited about the desire. Um,
yeah.
so, yeah, so I would say, do you need it? I don't think there's ever a need for a need.
No.
But you can still milk and enjoy that desire when it shows up.
Yeah. That explains it. I was just kind of mulling it over in my head, saying if I get it, I'll just be satisfied. But I've got the joy anyway. But
Yeah,
then, but then it's like I said. Now my main desire is to become my better self. It's it doesn't really matter if I have things or not. So I'm kind of answering my own question as I'm thinking
yeah,
about it as well.
and that's really the premise of the new paradigm,
Yeah.
right? Because with the new paradigm, you're so focused on just milking and taking pleasure in reality for what reality is,
Mm,
you're no longer concerned about if and when things are going to show up, and
mm,
that's when they do.
yeah. Can can people get complacent in a vibration of alignment and just think that they've got there and stop and it stops happening?
I would say no, because when you're in complacency, then you're probably not in alignment anymore,
Ah,
right?
yeah.
So, and there's always going to be new excitements. There's always going to be leading edge of anything, right?
Yeah.
So anything you do, there's always more expansive versions of that, and more expansive versions of that, and more expansive
Mhm,
versions of that. And your inner being is always guiding you down that path.
mhm,
Without that path, there would be no point to existence.
yeah. And I don't know how to say this, but when you when you transition, you might only be guessing here, but do you still have desire, or is that just a human
Ooh,
thing?
that's a good question. I would say yes, but maybe the desires would be different.
Mm,
Um, That's a very good question. That would be a great hot seat question for Abraham Hicks. Does your inner, and I know the answer is yes. I know inner beings have desire.
mhm.
What those desires are, that's a very good question. I want to find the answer after that though.
Yeah, I wonder if it's a case of like having desires for people who are still here and guiding them and things like that.
Yeah, the desires I'm guessing would be different.
Mm,
Maybe desires for expansion, for our well-being. That's a very, I'm going to get the answer to that. I'm going to get somebody to channel that for me because that's really good.